That student section's been working since early during Big Noon kickoff. They're ready for this delayed game as the kickoff goes through the end zone for the touchback, and that will bring the offense onto the field. UCF won the toss. They elected to defer, so here comes Shedeur Sanders.
67% pass. Frankly, it's too much. It's unsustainable to throw at that level. You saw more of a commitment to the run a week ago, both with Shedeur's legs and the running game. And this afternoon in this place, they're going to have to be more balanced. Don't kid yourself, though. Number 2 is going to have to put on a show, and he's going to have to spray it everywhere. But you'd like to see a little bit more complementary balance offensively than all of it falling on number 2.
Can UCF get to the quarterback? Only 1 sack this year for the Knights defensively. Shedeur hit as he throws and dropped around Miller in the backfield. He's going to be dropped for a loss back near the 15-yard line. There's a flag down at the 21-yard line. A loss of 9, but we'll wait on the flag.
It might be a chop block they're talking about.
Tripping, number 55, offense. The penalty is declined. It's second down.
So that's Kareem Harden in for the right guard spot at Khalil Benson. That's just his second offensive snap of the year, bro.
Yeah, moving some pieces around. Deion told us very clearly, my eyes are interior with Hank and the guys inside have got to be better. And those are 2 dynamic receivers to go with Travis Hunter. Got to dominate the perimeter.
Second and 19. This is Jimmy Horn Jr. and there is nowhere to go. Buried at the 15. Defensively for UCF, they gave up 402 yards a couple of weeks ago to TCU, but Lee Hunter trying to anchor that defensive line.
Super vanilla to start this season. Lee is a massive man. Ethan Barr is their green dot, their veteran, a 2-time captain from Vanderbilt that makes the calls. And Adams, that guy does not back down from anybody. A lot of press coverage. He and Mr. Hunter will have a fun afternoon.
3rd and 20. Sanders over the middle, and it's intercepted at the 30-yard line. The diving pick for Deshaun Pace, his 2nd of the year.
Kevin, that was 3 snaps that have been totally different than anything we have seen UCF do through 3 games. Okay, here ultimately is the interceptor in Pace, but look at the front. That is a zone blitz. You're dropping an end. We saw Lawrence earlier on the previous 2 snaps standing up as a linebacker. This is the advantage of a bye week. You've been sitting on stuff, has Ted Roof. Super vanilla. Come out for 3 snaps and shows Shedeur stuff he's not seen all season long. And just the 3rd interception as Deion's trying to make sense of it.
And the first in the last 3 games. And now to the ground with R.J. Harvey, and he is swallowed up. Samuel Okunlola, the Pitt transfer, a loss of 1 on the carry for Harvey. Here's K.J. Jefferson, the only player among active quarterbacks with 8,400 pass yards and over 2,000 rushing yards. The transfer from Arkansas was the preseason conference newcomer of the year here this year.
And when you look at Gus Malzahn's systems through the years, they operate best when a quarterback likes to run it, as he does.
2nd and 11, and the handoff on the jet sweep to Xavier Townsend, and Townsend down to the 20-yard line, a yard shy of a UCF first down, and this UCF offense is doing it behind the big right tackle, Paul Rubel.
Yeah, the German, 6'10". You don't see that much, 330 pounds, but they're active, they're conditioned, they move just like that. Horizontally, R.J. Harvey, a difference maker.
And Townsend will pull it, and down he goes. He's short. An early decision for Gus Malzahn and UCF on 4th down.
A really nice job by B.J. Green. We saw it earlier with Okunlola on the first snap. That time on 3rd down, these 2 edges for Gus Malzahn have forced the issue and forced a decision. To me, that's a no-brainer. You absolutely go for it and you make a statement.
Well, if you're the #1 rushing offense in the country and you've rushed for 62 first downs this year.
And it is Harvey in that wildcat position.
Motion across. Harvey fakes the handoff to the motion man. Harvey lost a shoe, driving for first down yardage. He's going to get it. Look at that surge. We're in Central Florida, but the Waves have come ashore in Orlando. A 5-yard gain and a first down.
You know, one thing I love, they don't blow the whistle quite as quickly in college football as they do that level that you like to call. And we'll be doing so tomorrow, Kevin. They let the plays continue because the big fellas keep working. Look at the strength of RJ's legs, that balance and power, and then the big boys push for the first.
Pittman, the tight end, in motion. The give is to Harvey on the edge. A stiff arm. Harvey inside the 10 and down to the 6. Cam Silman-Craig, who had 13 stops last week, just got blown up.
Oh, that's 7-on-7 crime right there. Silman-Craig is the guy defensively, the leader, the leading tackler, one of the best in college football in those situations. But that just shows you what I said about R.J. Harvey, the most underappreciated back in college football. Silman-Craig knows next time I got to take the legs, because if I go high, he's going to run right through me.
Big 12's leading rusher getting a breather right now as Penny Boone is in, and Boone off the play fake, the throw into the end zone, and it went right through the hands of Kobe Hudson. Hudson, normally so sure-handed, dropped a touchdown there.
That was on Travis Hunter, a little RPO. There's the defense down a few Buffaloes. We will get to that over the course of the day, but BJ Green's going to have to be effective on the edge. Those two linebackers are going to play a lot. No Trevor Woods, the backup on this trip. Two veterans there. And then obviously Travis Hunter is the guy, though he just got beat inside on that RPO. And Silman-Craig is the straw that stirs the drink.
Very thin at linebacker today for the Buffs. Keeper for the Wildcat Harvey, and he's going to have the first down to the 5. Amari McNeil on the tackle. First and goal, UCF.
You know, one of the keys when you watch UCF and Gus Malzahn's run game over the years, Herb Hand, his O-line coach, a great one, but he will be very active with his guards. Both Medley and Marshall are excellent in the pull game. If you don't puncture, if you don't get knockback and you allow those big men to pull around, they get a body on a body, and these running backs and the quarterback follow behind.
Fake the toss. And down goes KJ Jefferson. Chidozie Nwankwo, they're happy to get him back. He's been out since the Nebraska game with a shoulder injury, first one there.
He is a powerful man, albeit 5'11" and 290 pounds. Hill Green also involved in that stop, but this is exactly the game. You could see the shoulder brace on the left arm, been battling that the last few weeks. This is the kind of matchup you have to have a fire hydrant like him.
Transfer from Houston. He was the first true freshman to start on Houston's D-line since Ed Oliver. Little broken play, some confusion, and Colorado takes advantage. Okunlola there to drop KJ Jefferson. That was messed up from the start.
Yeah, and based on the line, watch the whole offensive line go to the right here. Pretty good indicator that this play was supposed to go to the right. And I think Johnny Richardson just got his wires crossed up there with KJ. And the other tell right there, Cougs, is when the quarterback stands up and immediately looks at the running back. Pretty good sign that, man, you went the wrong way for me.
He wasn't very subtle about it. Pittman in motion on 3rd and goal. Jefferson floats it in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Preston Hodge takes it away, his 2nd pick of the season, and Colorado turns the Knights away on 3rd and goal.
Touchback, first down, Colorado. Timeout on the field.
The teams exchange turnovers. Hodge steals one back in a scoreless game for the Buffs.
Brave. Ain't too many pigs, look too, don't send me none.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico. An interception apiece for Colorado and UCF. The last one in the end zone.
Yeah, this is a really good job by Hodge, because you know this route. This is something he's competed against and practiced against on the other side. In every system down in the red zone, try to get your big receiver Whittemore to that back pylon. You could almost see Hodge run that route. He knew what was coming, and then with a throw that was low and inside, even more than knowing it, he finished it.
Only the third interception of the year for Colorado. They'll take over at their own 20. And on first down, it's Dallin Hayden. Not much there. Shut down as he gets to the 20 by Lee Hunter. We talked about him at the top of the show.
Well, once again, that is a totally different look than what Colorado has prepared for. That was what you call a bare front. And look at 51. There's number 2. He is a big old fella, Mr. Hunter, 330 pounds. But mixing and matching their fronts. Now a 3-down front. All this stuff they have not shown the first month of the season.
Sanders finds an opening, and he finds Travis Hunter. First catch of the day, a pickup of 13 and a first down.
And you know what he finds? Space. Watch this route. I mean, this is just, he's finding green grass. This is not a spot route. That's not a slant route. It is, I'm going to turn my 1 and my 2 to, to Shedeur, and he's going to find me because I know how to attack space.
Sanders to the sideline. That's Shepard with the catch. Let's take a look at our Get More game plan, sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico.
Well, for Colorado, they have got to be sensational in the perimeter. Not just good, they have got to be elite, break tackles, be difference makers. And we've talked about it with UCF. Nobody runs it more. The commitment to the run game, 250 yards. When Gus Malzahn here runs for 250 or more, they're 18-0.
42% of his games, he's hit that 250 mark, as Matthew Alexander there to shut down Dallin Hayden. About a yard shy of the first down, 3rd and 1.
But that's a win for Colorado's run game. I mean, on the year, they average about 2.5 yards a carry. That is a positive play to create 3rd and 1.
And on 3rd down, another hole for Hayden, and Hayden picks his way to the 46. They're happy to have him back. He's missed the last 2 games with an ankle sprain, but the Ohio State transfer gets a first down.
Yeah, he was a stud out of Memphis, Tennessee, almost 4,000 rushing yards. Had some production there at Ohio State, but with all the guys coming and going, he had to find a new home. And he's got a little more bounce to his step coming off that ankle. We call those fresh legs.
They'll use those fresh legs to try to bolster an anemic run game. Sanders to midfield, dropped immediately as Terrell Timmons by Ethan Barr, 4-yard pickup.
You kind of get the sense on these tackles, don't you, Kevin, that these guys had a bye to get well.
Speaking of fresh legs.
Yes, and it makes a difference in playing off the crowd at home and just this entire environment. There has been quite a bit of ferocity with a number of these tackles.
Little momentum, though, for the Colorado offense. They've gone 30 yards to midfield. Five-man pressure. Sanders throws. Good pluck by Hunter right at the line to gain. That'll be a first down to the UCF 44.
Yeah, his ball skills are just sick. And what Pat Shurmur says to us, and Pat's been around a lot of them at the NFL, it's him and Odell Beckham Jr. That's it. When it comes to just finding and tracking the ball and then doing that and making it look easy. One of a kind.
He's in the 1/2 of 1% of receivers, said Pat Shurmur, the offensive coordinator for the Buffs, when we were talking with him before the game. Here he is with the ball in his hands again. A little slip on that turf, able to get his footing, but down he goes. Back in Colorado territory, Ladarius Tennyson knifing in to get the ankles at the 49.
This is a super thin turf being down there yesterday. I mean, it is a putting green. A lot of rain fell for a couple hours before the game, and in particular, when you get on paint like that, painted it yesterday, you could see him lose his footing, and then like a bullet, Tennyson out of center field. That dude can flat out fly. It went right for the legs, and you could see it right there. It is thin.
And it got chunked up a little bit like that in pregame warmups. It had a lot of rain on it. 2nd down and 17. Trying to get some of that yardage back is Micah Welch, and he's going to get a lot of it back, all of it back, and a yard shy of a Colorado first down.
On the carry, 29, Micah Welch.
Just a body on a body. Look at the guys here. Is it perfect? No. Is the true freshman Seton fall over a little bit? Yes. But do you get a body? That's all it takes for these running backs. Just create a little movement. Find them a crease. And Welch with the biggest run yet of his young career in Colorado.
3rd down and 1.
That Seton's going to be a good one at left tackle.
5-star recruit, true freshman, not easy. And we've got a timeout taken by the Buffaloes, their first, with 4:24 to go in this first quarter. Big 3rd and 1 coming up. Deion Sanders wants to talk it over with his son. Deion Sanders back in Florida, born in 1967 in Fort Myers, Florida. He won the Jim Thorpe Award in 98, or in 88 rather, when he was at Florida State in Tallahassee. Right here in Orlando, kind of halfway between, 162 miles from Orlando to Fort Myers, Florida. You know Coach Sanders was happy to be back in his home state this week.
Best football players in high school from Texas, best athletes from Florida.
And on 3rd and 1, a gaping hole, and up into the air goes Micah Welch, jumping to the 23-yard line, a pickup of 11. And a team that doesn't run the ball well is running exceptionally right now.
Who are these men right here? Moving people. Just like the previous run, Brown and Seton, the accounting firm, right there creating serious damage and movement in a run game we've not seen all season.
1st down and 10. Play action. Sanders throws for Hunter. He'll walk in for 6.
Touchdown, Colorado. 23-yard touchdown pass from Shadur.
Wow. You know why he is so remarkable? Because he knows exactly what a corner's thinking. And when he sees this technique, watch. He sees him bail, does Brandon Adams, and Travis Hunter knows the minute I close that cushion, I'm breaking my route off. Do I break it at 10? Do I break it at 12? Nope. I break it right when I break that corner's cushion, and I know what that feels like on the other side. The dude is just different.
6th receiving touchdown of the year. It's game 5 for Colorado. And the Buffaloes used a run game. That's right.
before they went back to their steady hand and Travis Hunter to take the lead. Play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a chance to win your share of $5,000 in weekly cash prizes. Brock Hewitt and Allison Williams, Kevin Kugler back in Orlando. An 11-play, 80-yard drive. How about Shadur Sanders on that drive? And how about the run game of Colorado on that drive?
It's just, if Colorado runs the football, Kevin, just stopping their pass is hard enough, and it's why they're 3-1. But if they can run the football, good luck defending them.
So a 7-0 advantage. Colorado took advantage of the turnover and marched the length of the field, finding Travis Hunter, his 6th touchdown catch of the year, and an early Buffs lead.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. A couple of teammates and friends, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, celebrating on the sidelines an early Colorado lead.
Yeah, and I don't think that was pregame, right? Like, that was just now.
No, Michael Irvin's over there on the sideline right now.
I love it.
Pretty good wide receiver group on that sidelines, not only with Travis Hunter currently, but T.O. and Michael Irvin.
There's a little bit of a USC Pete Carroll vibe.
There is.
The stars just kind of want to be around the other stars. I'm not putting them in that class yet. Don't kid yourself. Got a lot more winning to do, but the star power is out.
Let's see what kind of an answer UCF could put together here. A.J. Jefferson fakes the run, floats it for his back. It's R.J. Harvey off to the races. Harvey trying to outrun Hunter. He'll do it. 75 yards. What an answer for the Knights. Mentioned it early, Brock. The linebacker core is very thin today for Colorado.
And this is a Colorado crew that loves to play man coverage. And it's great with Travis Hunter on a receiver. But it can be a challenge for a linebacker on a guy like Harvey that can't just run it. The dude can catch it. And that time, Bentley could not find him. I mean, a ton of man-to-man coverage, and that puts Levanta Bentley, who loves to come downhill in the run game, in a bind. And once you go under that mesh, you're dead. I mean, that is that old-fashioned kind of run a bunch of interference. You run people across his face, and instead of going over the top and keeping RJ in front of him, he tried to duck underneath it. And much like when linebackers duck under blocks in the run game, usually spells problems. And oh, by the way, look at Superman trying to chase him down.
Almost got there, but just as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, a real contrast in styles. UCF, the throwing team, and Colorado, the rushing team. Don't go back and look at what we said at the top of the broadcast.
Kevin, welcome to the Bounce House, and welcome to college football, where on any given weekend, you do not know what's going to happen.
Horn Jr. will take a knee for the touchback. Great effort. You pointed it out on the initial replay. Great effort by Travis Hunter in the secondary.
I mean, he is on the other side of the field, but the guy never gives up on a play. Right, he's running across there, and Deion was not buying anything of what I was trying to sell. I said, hey, have you measured his lung capacity? I know you guys run at 5,200 feet. I know the Olympic team trains out in Colorado, and Deion looked at me like, what are you talking about?
He wouldn't even bite when you said, well, you know, I was on the stair stepper today and I've got a lot more lung capacity.
Easy.
He wouldn't even bite on that.
He just said Travis is built different. And he gives you that effort on every play, even if it is 140.
Well, they were not ready to snap it. The play clock's hit 0 already.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that is a tough look to have a delay of game off of a touchback.
Yeah, I don't think Pat Shermer likes that. Usually in the NFL, don't they do the little raise the roof?
Yeah, they give you the raise the roof.
Can I get a little reset of the play clock?
Pat Shermer, two-time NFL head coach, long-time NFL offensive coordinator. College game's a little bit different. We were talking with him the other day. Back to the ground game and into the arms of Ethan Barr goes Dallin Hayden.
Yeah, he is Ted Roof's communicator, the defensive coordinator. He has eyes on it right here. And unlike a bunch of these other runs where they've gotten a body on a body, that time, too many. Just a numbers count that was not advantageous. And Mr. Barr, the two-time captain of Vandy and the captain here at UCF, doesn't miss many of those.
2nd and 14, a gain of 1. So there's Sanders to the air. There's Shepard with the catch, and Shepard out across the 35 with a Colorado first down.
Well, there's another one. I mean, we haven't even talked about Wester or Horn Jr., but this one I said to you earlier, key to the game, is going to be playing out on the perimeter in space. Look at the cushion that Jackson has given them. And Shepard, all he did at Vandy was like be in the top 5 of all their receiving records all time. He too can play.
Off the play fake, out to Hunter, breaks a tackle, down the sideline on a diagonal out of bounds for another Buffalo first down.
Yeah, this forced them a wide receiver, Shepard, Horn, Wester, and obviously Travis. You could see the amount of productivity.
Most catches in FBS, 4th most in combined yardage, and of course everybody's had a moment this year. Even guys like Omarion Miller, who doesn't make the graphic, had the 53-yard touchdown against, or 58-yard touchdown rather, against Baylor last year.
And they play more 10 personnel, right? 1 running back, no tight ends, 4 receivers than just about anybody in the Power 4.
Sanders to the sideline, incomplete. Let's check in downstairs with Allison.
Well, Colorado knows it has to get better play up front, and their offensive line coach, Phil Lobolt, has gotten what he's been preaching to his guys early in this one. He's telling them they have to get low and use their leverage, explode through blocks, keep their hands inside and tight, and he felt like last time out they did a much better job of that, more physicality in the run game and getting to that second level square.
Yeah, I would say so far so good for this Buffalo offensive line. There's an injured UCF Knight in the secondary. It's Braden Marshall who is being tended to down on the field. And remember, it is hot and it is humid here in Florida today, so we'll keep an eye on all of these guys as they battle through these conditions. But that offensive line, Brock, when you look at having to replace Khalil Benson at right guard, they put in Kareem Harden, who had 1 offensive snap before today, and already their most productive rushing first quarter in a long time.
And I like Phil Lobolt. Look at him. He looked like he could still play, wants to play, and he is what I would say confrontational with those guys. You know, it was a couple weeks ago, man, in Nebraska, it was embarrassing. And he pulled those guys there on the sidelines and just let them have it. There is more in the tank there. And that's where I asked Dion yesterday, where are your eyes? If I could see through those sunglasses, what are you looking at? He said, I don't even look at the perimeter. I know that game. My eyes are right in the interior, the offensive line, because if we're good there, it sets a table for the rest.
Yeah, he said that really changed last year for him, where he started looking more interior than outside. Over the middle, high pass, good pluck by Horn, down the sideline, another Colorado first down.
Yeah, if these guys catch the ball in space, huge advantage, Buffaloes. And have I mentioned the uniforms yet, by the way?
You have not, but I know you were raving about them in the pregame.
I think I said it to you about 10 times in pregame, how tight and sweet these unis look, man. It looks like the 90s Buffaloes. I love the stripes on the pants, racing stripes, and these guys can race on the perimeter.
On 1st and 10, back to the air. We've got a flag down. This play stopped before it started.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start, number 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the freshman Jordan Seaton. And this pass offense for Colorado, 5th in the FBS, our key stat comparison against the UCF pass defense that struggled.
Yeah, and really over 400 yards to TCU 2 weeks ago for that UCF defense. But Shedeur and Dion had to be licking their chops. Just knowing if we can kick this ball out to the perimeter, it is advantage Colorado.
First down and 15, handoff to Hayden. And Hayden not finding much there. Stacked up with a 47 right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I like the way that Pat Shermer phrased it. I never really heard a coordinator say it. He said in a fair fight, we've got to get yardage. And what he meant by that is when I got 5 linemen against 5 in the box, we've got to be able to move it. You know, and not just for 1 or 2. Like in a fair fight, we got to get 6 or 7. That time, not a fair fight. 6 defenders around the line of scrimmage, and it went for naught.
But averaging over 5 yards a rush in the early going for Colorado. They'll take that. 2nd and 15 at the 47. Sanders breaks away from pressure. Sanders in some trouble. Hops away again, and Sanders throws this one away. He had heat from the moment he took the snap, But this is nothing new for Shedeur Sanders dealing with pressure.
No, and it was from the right side, and we were watching this in warm-ups. This was a little bit of a challenge in warm-ups for the big old right tackle, Houston. His own guys were getting underneath his pads. When Allison just said about Phil Lodeholt, stay down, get down, that was the opposite of it. He showed his shoulder pads and got driven right into Shedeur.
3rd and 15 could be the final play of the quarter.
Sanders with a clean pocket, looking deep for Shepard, and it is a diving catch. Oh! Will Shepard, full extension for his first Colorado touchdown.
Are you kidding me, Kevin? I mean, look at Antoine Jackson, number 7. He thinks he has that fly ball. He's a center fielder tracking it, and then all of a sudden that right fielder said, I'm going to cut right off in front of you, does Will Shepard. Now the 22nd touchdown of his career. There is absolute security even when he comes to the ground. The 6'3" transfer, 5th-year transfer from Vandy with the biggest play yet is a Buffalo.
Wow, what a throw by Shedeur Sanders. Give him a clean pocket. He puts it on a dime.
You like the throw. I like the catch. Because you usually don't throw when a corner's 3 yards behind tracking the ball. Like, that's usually a decision, Kevin, you don't make unless you trust and really trust your wide receivers. But you're absolutely right. The protection, good. The ability to plant his feet, and then I will agree with you. The air on that ball, when it leaves your television screen, gives your freak show receivers an opportunity to do just that.
I mean, what an outstanding play all the way around.
Yeah, Joel Klatt and I were chatting about this receiving corps. Ohio State to a man, okay. Yeah, maybe more NFL, first rounders, second rounders. But Will Shepard, Jimmy Horn Jr., LeJontay Wester, and old Travis Hunter, that 4, you can run out and play with anybody in the country.
It's been a big play first quarter, a 23-yard touchdown, a 75-yard touchdown, a 47-yard touchdown. We've got 3 quarters of this to go.
I love college football.
And a little bit of a crease out to the 25 and down there for Ladarius Tennison.
There are such wild swings in this game. And there's going to be, I mean, this is just the first 15 minutes. It is going to be back and forth because there are absolutely advantages that Will Shepard and crew have. Gus Malzahn knows, and look at him trying to fire his crew up here. He knows there's places that they're going to get to pick on like they did on the previous drive.
He's reminding them, look, we were down 28-7 in the 3rd quarter the last time we were out here. This is nothing. 14-7 at the end of 1. I say that assuming this is the last play of the quarter, but I thought that a moment ago. And the handoff for R.J. Harvey. Not much there, maybe 2. And that will take us to the much.
And he anchors down, and you can't move him.
3rd and 12. Play action. Looking down the sideline. Jump ball, and Hunter breaks that one up.
That's a no-no.
Jefferson's pass is
Kind of waiting for the Dikembe Mutombo. No. Don't try him. Try somebody else. And I know Kobe Hudson's your best, and he is dynamic and over 20 yards a catch. But this guy's ball skills, they're just different. Like you are playing with fire if you're going to throw that ball. What did Dion say? They're not 50-50 balls.
No, not anymore.
That's called Travis's ball, and it nearly was.
Lester, the deep man. McCarthy to punt it away for UCF. Wester blasted as he tried to field that one. It's going to be recovered by Colorado, but there's a flag down. A 39-yard punt. And Antoine Jackson blew that up a beat too early.
Yeah, got beat on the post route touchdown, probably trying to make up for it, which is again a no-no. It's going to set up Colorado with some tremendous field position.
kick catch interference, number 7, kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down, Colorado.
You know what LeJohntay weighs?
167.
He is not a big fella, but he's got a lot of courage to stand in there at moments like that. Now you get the ball midfield, everything is open to you.
See, Wester's still out there.
Oh, he's
not going anywhere.
He's a Florida boy. Like these Florida guys, the 17 of them that are back here getting a chance to play, hyped.
Touchdown,
Sanders out of the backfield to Miller. And Miller up the sideline and out of bounds at the UCF 45-yard line. We saw Travis Hunter break up that last play. The two-way superstar entering today. You see, he's not targeted very often, just 10% of the time.
Yeah, for a reason. I mean, it just...
Don't wait on them.
And down near a first down, Draylon Miller, Ladarius Tennyson with the tackle again.
I think that does and will move the chains. Another rush first down. You just kind of run out of words. It's a little bit probably like Ohtani. When people trying to talk about what Shohei is doing with 57 homers and 57 stolen, it just 50-50, it just doesn't happen. To play 130 snaps a game at his level doesn't happen.
Sanders on a cross, it's Michael Welch. Welch down at the 34-yard line. The big question is going to be, though, can that translate to the next level on both sides of the ball? We've seen it in, as Dion said with Charles Woodson in the pregame, dribs and drabs out there.
Sure. And that's now 6 different receivers that Shedeur has hit. No, not like this. You're not going to play 130-something snaps in a 17-game NFL season, but you will utilize his skill set.
2nd and 4, Welch picks his way forward, low to the ground. First down on the ground for Colorado to the 29, a pickup of 5.
Once again, it is the guys up front, and that time it was the right side of the offensive line. Houston and Harden just moving people. If Dion's got his eyes in the interior of this line and he's watching the line of scrimmages, you could feel it when he talked to Allison. This is a game changer. We haven't done this in my career yet at Colorado. Really give Shedeur a run game.
And a timeout taken by UCF. Gus Malzahn wants his defense to get a breather. Colorado with all the momentum. You can see it on the coach's face. Welcome back to Fox College Football, sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico. Well, for Colorado, it's been an incredibly efficient start to this game and more reliance on the run than we've seen.
Yeah, and just efficiency in that run game, and it's amazing when you run the ball. Look at Shadur's jersey. Even on a grass field and wearing white, it's not all stained and dirty like it's been for Pat Shurmur for the majority of the season, as he has been the most hit quarterback. Not just sacked, but the most hit quarterback in all of college football.
39 knockdowns entering play today. Sanders chased, pressure comes, and it's incomplete, and here comes a flag.
He got hit in the head.
Isaiah Nixon, who had no helmet on.
Yeah, once that helmet comes off, you got to stop. And it's really hard to tell football players to stop.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 6, defense. Contact to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it's always going to be a flag
Yes.
anytime there's contact to the head.
Yes, and once, especially, and I think what
Correction of foul
these,
is half the distance to the goal.
I think also what these officials look at is like the motion of it. Kind of like a block shot in basketball when your hands come down. That one actually was a little more of the forearm. You got to avoid the head. You got to avoid hitting quarterbacks. And really hard to tell defensive ends and teams on the season that have one sack. Ted Roof knows that, just one sack on the entire season. But when they get a shot, they typically want to take it.
From the 14 on first down, a burst for Hayden, and Hayden into the end zone with his first rushing touchdown of the year.
And I have watched a lot of snaps of these Buffaloes the last few years, and you just have not seen this, right? This is counter action, and there is no penetration. The right side is moving people like a wave, and then the other side comes around. Savell Smalls helps seal it, and you've got a crease, and you've got a run game. Maybe it just took Dion coming back to Florida. But more than likely, it took a whole bunch of effort and work and commitment at the line of scrimmage to do something that Buffalo fans just have not seen in this tenure.
I can tell you this, there are a lot of Big 12 coaches right now watching this rushing attack and thinking, uh-oh, if Colorado can run, we know they can throw. They're dangerous again in the Big 12.
Want to talk about football with a friend? Just tell Siri. Call Jesse on speakerphone. Want to talk about football with a friend?
Colorado, number 20.
Want to talk about football with a friend? Just tell Siri. Call Jesse on speakerphone.
I think Jesse would be very impressed with what Colorado has done on the ground in this game. You know, this is not a rushing team. At least it hasn't been, but it is today.
Yeah, those are just remarkable numbers against a big physical crew.
Right.
I mean, this is not a bunch of young puppies at UCF. These are veteran guys that have been around, and you've had moving pieces. This is without Khalil Benson, and yet again, moving pieces around, but Harden and Houston, an awesome job. Hank Zelinskas, the local kid from Cherry Creek, has done a very good job as well. Just a super efficient run game.
Looking for room on the sideline, and a good return out across the 30-yard line for Xavier Townsend. And now the answer is what from UCF? Down 21-7. They were down 28-7 in the third quarter a week ago. Where does Gus Malzahn look now?
Run. How many rushing yards do they have?
22 on 10 carries.
And how many they average?
They average 55 carries a game and 376 yards per game.
Run the ball. Get back to who you are, and you've got to find a way to do what Colorado's run game is doing to you, and that's move people at the point of attack.
R.J. Harvey gets the carry. Cuts it upfield. A good run on first down for Harvey. Out across the 40, picks up 9.
Yeah, and probably a good place to start with him as well, the 5th leading rusher in all of college football.
Back to Pace for UCF. Back to Harvey. And a first down for the Knights. Gus Malzahn said he's going to go fast. They want the tempo. Now they can establish it with that run game, getting him a first down. Harvey again. A lot of traffic and not much there, but give him 2. Preston Hodge with the tackle.
Yeah, when you watch Colorado, especially in the second half of last season, Kevin, when they were thinner defensively and they lost people, they just got overwhelmed. You could see it on the game tape, you could see it on the TV copy, that they just got moved. And UCF right now they're getting some runs, but they are not overwhelming this front.
Both fronts, offensive and defense, have been markedly improved today for Colorado. Penny Boone in the backfield. It's a keeper for KJ Jefferson, but he has nowhere to go. Arden Walker all over that zone read. Nothing doing for Jefferson.
Yeah, this is a really nice job. These edges have been very aggressive getting right to that mesh point. When they don't get blocked, look at it. He's not hesitating. You know what else he did? He stayed square. And when you do that, it makes it really difficult, even on a veteran quarterback. Like, once those shoulders turn, then I know I can pull it, I can run. That is teaching tape for staying square right at that mesh.
Well, what Dion tell us he was looking for on his defense?
His edges and those ends to play better.
3rd and 8 from the 46. Floats it over the middle. Open man is Townsend, and Townsend just enough for a UCF first down. Needed 8, he got 9.
Well, once again, this is pretty simple. This is just man coverage. So you've got one guy running off, and you can see the coverage coming behind. That time McKinley just could not get through the traffic.
Off the play fake, Jefferson in trouble, throws over the middle, and he finds Townsend. Xavier Townsend, back-to-back catches for back-to-back first downs. This one goes for 18.
Okay, so you get him beat in man-to-man coverage. What do? We're going to play zone coverage. Look at all the eyes of those defenders back in the pocket. But KJ steps up, finds the void in the zone, big play.
Back to the air, and another completion. This is Hudson, and Kobe Hudson sets up 1st and goal for the Knights at the 7.
Just like we talked about. Colorado's going to throw it, UCF's going to run it.
Or the other way around.
You see Robert Livingston, the first-year defensive coordinator, that right now is probably thinking, like, hold on a second, UCF, just run the ball.
Yeah.
Just do what you've done all year. Just, come on, Gus, just run the ball. Stop throwing it.
Brock Heward said run it. And a timeout taken by the Knights. 8:47 to go in this second quarter. Good response brewing for UCF at home.
State and K-State in a top 25 matchup in Manhattan. Shocking top. Coming up on the State Farm halftime, OK State and K-State in a top 25 matchup in Manhattan. Shocking top 10 upset in the SEC today. And Arch Manning with another star for top-ranked Texas. Kevin and Brock, see you at the half, my brothers.
We will indeed. Thank you, sir. We are churning towards Mike and the gang in our studios in Los Angeles, but there's a lot of football left to be played in this second quarter. 8:47 to go. Colorado just scored a moment ago, and UCF has marched down the field, setting up a response.
Yeah, this has been R.J. Harvey's own 8 rushing touchdowns this year.
Jefferson, pump. Jefferson to the goal line, barreling in for the touchdown.
So I'm a corner. I'm DJ McKinney, and I'm a corner, and I'm supposed to cover people. I'm not supposed to have 250-pound quarterbacks running right through my face.
His second rushing touchdown of 2024. His mom's got to be delighted. When we were talking with him yesterday, he said, if I only let one guy bring me down, she gets mad. Well, he wasn't going to let DJ McKinney bring him down to the goal line.
No, he's got a tough mom that holds him accountable, and he's licking his chops right here. He's looking for RJ, but once that happens, yeah, seriously. I mean, what are you going to do? Can't go high, can't go low, and I'm giving up 60 pounds. Only DJ Uiagalelei, that's it. Those two at 255 and 247 pounds. Two biggest in college football.
The biggest quarterbacks in FBS as we go downstairs to Allison.
Well, you guys are talking about the toughness we see with KJ Jefferson, and there is no denying that's absolutely he gets from his mom, Katori Moore. Katori actually suffered a stroke in KJ's senior year of high school. She had to undergo brain surgery, months of rehab. She had to relearn how to walk, and while she was going through all that, she said KJ was her motivation. She wanted to get back and watch him out on the football field, but he will tell you that is where he learns his toughness, seeing what his mom went through, what she persevered through. He has always been a tough guy. It's always been tough love for mom, and she definitely knows a thing or two about battling through adversity.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what else it does is it ignites your teammates. When you've got a quarterback that's that physical, and Shedeur in his own way does the same thing because he takes a beating and has this season and keeps getting up and keeps getting up. But man, when you run through defenders, your O-line loves it. Your defenders love it, and you could feel this stadium come back to life just a little bit, start bouncing around again.
And your mom loves it.
Yes, she does.
When she's telling you, don't let one guy bring you down. He said adamantly, she gets mad at me. She will let me know. From the 25 on first down, Sanders over the middle finds his tight end. That's Savell Smalls, who gets a first down to the 35.
Don't use him a lot, just 3 catches on the season. Former 5-star defensive end out of Washington State. Tried to find a home. DN last year, they flipped him over, and he's getting a little more comfortable game by game at that tight end spot.
Kennedy Catholic High School consensus 5-star. Everybody loved him coming out on the defensive side. On first down, that's Dallin Hayden, not much up the middle.
Dallin Hayden on the carry.
Nigel Kelly leading the way to shut down that run.
So kind of curious here in this chess match with Ted Roof, who started very exotic earlier, mixing some different fronts, and now getting back to that 4-man front, 2 linebackers. And that can leave you, well, a little more vulnerable to the 400 yards you saw passing against you down in Fort Worth. So Colorado with that run game, as Dion was talking about, starting to burden and put that defense into a bind.
Let's throw on Miller out of the backfield. Over the middle, wide open, LeJohntay Wester, and Wester weaves his way across the UCF 40-yard line. 22-yard pickup on the play for Wester.
I don't know what this coverage is, but it's the wrong coverage when you leave that whole area wide open. So, I mean, there is nobody, look at that, within 5 or 6 yards of one of the more slippery slot receivers in America.
First down from the 40. Sanders steps away from pressure, in trouble from the backside, and down he goes. They finally get to him. It's Nigel Kelly's 2nd sack of the year.
They do. I think I'm going to put that one a little more on Shedeur. Right, you get pretty comfortable when you're not getting hit, you're getting the ball out. Yeah, there's a little bit of a rush against Jordan Seaton there, but he could have thrown that to the flat. He could have got rid of it. Trying to extend that play creates a negative play.
Well, this has been a common sight since the start of 2023. Colorado, 73 sacks allowed. Only Old Dominion with 75 has allowed more over the last year plus. Sanders, pressure up the middle again. On the roll, gets square, throws it deep, incomplete. Good coverage downfield on LeJohntay Wester from Mac McWilliams.
I have a sense at 3rd and 16, this place might get a little bouncy again.
The bounce house bounced early, and then Colorado took the bounce out of the bounce house. And some movement up front.
That's going to be on the center, I believe.
Mike Zelinskas.
Snap infraction, number 58, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, right in the middle, you're going to see just a little flinch right here with the football. Right there, and when you flinch like that, you create movement. It's another self-inflicted negative. Not many of them today have not stared down this down and distance.
With 3 for 4 on 3rd down, but a 3rd and 21 is a different animal. Pressure up the middle. Sanders throws. It is caught, and then a big hit over the middle. Absolute stick leveled by Brian Threats after a pickup of 15.
Yeah, that's the one thing about these receivers. They are really dynamic, but they're 167 pounds in Wester, 170 for Jimmy Horn. Mass is on your side if you can level the boom.
Colorado takes their 2nd charge.
Buffaloes take a timeout. 5:59 remaining in this opening half, and a 4th and 6 decision for Deion Sanders and company.
That was a great call, by the way. A 1st down sack, not a great decision. 3rd and whatever it was, 20, 15, like just get enough back so we can make this decision here. I don't think Mata, you're going to push it. He's got a long of 43 this year, so that is not his game.
But you get into a territory, Brock Heward, where you feel like you have a decision to make. 3rd and 21, there wasn't much of a decision to make.
And I would say the way they have ran it, the way they have protected it, it gives Pat Shurmur really that full call sheet that he's not had for a majority of the games this season.
Already 15 first downs for Colorado in this first half. Offense stays on the field for 4th and 6. Here comes pressure. Sanders backpedals, waits for it. It's Wester. Won't get there. Quadric Bullard. Good open field tackle, and the Knights turn the Buffaloes away on 4th down.
This is a really nice job because you're going to see the route here. It's just a shallow cross across the field, and it was Bullard having the awareness. That is a fifth-year senior that's got eyes in front of him and knows what's coming. Right? He didn't track the shallow cross the other side. He had eyes, he had awareness, and then he had the ability to finish. These little squirrely slot receivers that can go, Kevin.
You mentioned it, fifth-year senior. That's one of the benefits of this UCF team. This is an old football team. There are a lot of fourth, fifth, sixth-year guys on the squad.
Yeah, and I think that is why the guys in Vegas like their odds of competing in this Big 12 and to win it.
First down at 10 at the 35. It's Harvey. Picks his way for 5 to the 40-yard line before Nakai Hillgreen can make the stop.
And you see that press coverage. Man-to-man.
Fake the toss. Not much there. Goes Arden Walker again. Those ends that we talked about earlier playing well.
Their best game by far, and they're without Dayon Hayes. He did not make the trip here. But Green and Walker and Okunlola, all of them have been just strong, which you have to be against Gus Malzahn's scheme. You're going to see counter, you're going to see option, you're going to see jet sweep, and your edges have got to rise and show up, and they have.
Third down and 4. To the air, completion, tight end Randy Pittman struggles to midfield and gets the first down.
I like this guy. He was a true freshman a season ago and got thrown right into the fire and started, and he's mostly a blocker because of this run game, but he shows you he's more than capable of moving the chains on third down.
Knights on the move at midfield. Jefferson, pressure comes, they set up the screen. Whoa, what a defensive play by Colorado. Arden Walker finished him off, but how about Preston Hodge getting in there to turn him back towards Walker?
How about 6', 195 versus 6'10", 340? That's right here against the right tackle, Rubelt, who's going to come out on this screen. And if you can beat him to that spot, you get underneath and you avoid him as you see Rubelt tumble to the ground, you can win.
Jefferson over the middle, all kinds of traffic out there. That is an incredibly tight window to fit that into. Nakai Hillgreen and Levanta Bentley, wow, both there.
Yeah, that was either one of those linebackers. Should have, could have, would have had this interception. I think Hillgreen's going to say to Bentley, like, hey, bro, just let that one go. And I may have had a lot of green grass in front of me.
So 3rd and 13. With time, floats it too far for Pittman again.
Jefferson's pass is incomplete.
Yeah, so you're going to see Hunter on the outside. They're not going to pick on him, try to run a hitch. He's got awareness, though, to that slot seam. A lot of the folks in the building wanted a little bit more contact, but Colton Hood did a nice job. And somehow, some way, Travis Hunter just continues to play snap after snap and even count and make sure we got the right number of defenders on the field.
Engaged on every single play because he's on the field for nearly every single play.
Awesome.
Fair catch at the 12. And the Buffaloes back to work, and Shadur Sanders, good solid first half.
Yeah, I just love this play. They want to try to disguise against Hunter, did not disguise very well. And the minute you get one-on-one coverage with his difference maker, Shadur's going to find him. And then the trust later in the game to take the shot down the field. This is all, like, honestly, you're looking at this coverage, and Antoine Jackson's playing off. You never saw Will Shepherd really close the cushion. So as a QB, I'm going to launch that thing 40-some feet in the air. And I'm going to believe that Will Shepherd can go make that contested catch. He trusts the people around him. They can feel it, right? They just know, like, hey, man, a lot of receivers will come back and say, give me a shot, give me a shot. Not to Shadur. He will give them their opportunities to eat.
First down and 10. Sanders, nobody open, going to run.
And Sanders takes a big stick. Gets the first down, but Braden Marshall made him pay a steep price.
What did Deion say when I asked him about Shedeur running?
Said he was built for adversity.
Yes, but he also said, I like completions.
Yeah.
More than 3 guys who are ready to tee off and unload on his son. Completions, remember?
Yes.
Completions, completions, completions.
He completed that run, but he took a shot afterwards. Sanders deflected away. Nice play by Braden Marshall. The sophomore showing up a little bit for the Knights in the secondary.
He's a very active nickel, and nice to see he went out earlier. It looked like cramps. Again, on a hot, humid day that saw rain and some lightning delay this thing by about an hour. And that's worth keeping an eye on for both sides. UCF is old. They are veteran. They are familiar with this. Colorado's got a lot of players from Florida and Georgia that have come home, but it still is a factor.
Second down and 10. Blitz up the middle. Picked up. And a good short gain to Jimmy Horn Jr. Gets 4. It'll leave a 3rd and 6. Now, Horn's helmet comes off, so on this 3rd and 6, Horn has to leave the field for a play. That's a big weapon that's on the bench right now. Savell Smalls, the tight end, checks in for Horn. Sanders, pressure coming late. Sanders buying time, looking downfield, floats it out for Hunter. He's got it! Travis Hunter coming back for it, and a flag at the end of the play. Tack on yardage after the B.J. Adams tackle.
I don't think I was the only one, and I'm sure some homes and folks in Colorado on a gain of 38 were saying, Shedeur, just run. Just run. It's 3rd and 6, you got green grass in front of you, just run. And he's like, why would I run when I've got number 12 to just throw the ball up to anywhere and everywhere, and he's going to find it?
Face mash, number 0, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, you said it, his dad and his head coach likes completions.
Sure,
he got one here.
Sure. And once again, it is just the timing and ball skills. Shedeur loves to do this, loves to extend plays like the great ones at the next level. Step up, step around, and then Travis just going to find space, putting my hand up in the air. I'm going to find space, and like on the playground, go get it done.
A net of 53 yards with the pass play and the penalty. And we've got a whistle and a stoppage in play as we got to the 2-minute timeout.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been working on that all week. I so wanted to say 2-minute warning. Believe me. But it's 2-minute timeout. Buffs on the move again. Up 7 on the road.
After review, the receiver stepped out of bounds at the 42-yard line. The 15-yard penalty for face mask will be enforced from that spot. It's first down Colorado at the 27-yard line.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. While you were away, they reviewed the Travis Hunter catch, and it's ruled he stepped out of bounds earlier in the play. Mike Pereira?
Yeah, and we saw that here too. So he steps out of bounds at the 42. The heel hits the line. Now, that doesn't take away the face mask penalty. If it was a holding penalty, a non-automatic first down personal foul, then it would, but not in this case. That still gets added on.
And that's why Colorado has it first down at the 27-yard line, and that's why there's now the 2-minute timeout. We had the 2-minute timeout, and we didn't have the 2-minute timeout. Now we have another 2-minute timeout.
Now you're just showing off.
2-minute timeout.
Yes.
When I say it tomorrow in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's almost ruined me for life.
You know, one thing that stood out this week, I went up to Boulder earlier in the week and talked to Pat Shermer a little bit. He said, you know, Brock, you played in the old West Coast system. He coached in the West Coast, and then that whole system was about structure. With Andy Reid and Mike Holmgren, everything was structured. This place, especially with Travis, who doesn't really practice during the week with them, it is not structured. And it reminds me, honestly, of a Chiefs game that I did with Andy Reid years ago. And Andy said, you know what? Same thing. Like, you're so used to 7-step, one hitch, throw it on this time, throw it. And with the Chiefs, it's like, hey, Kelsey, Mahomes, go make a play. Go make a play. And there's like 3 or 4 of these that I have just watched. There's not like, okay, here's a post route off my 5th step. No, I'm just gonna kind of feel what's going on around. That was the first completion, right? And it's just find the open area.
Here's an example of it.
Yes, and the trust and relationship that these two have. Like, I'm gonna put my hand up in the air. You know, I'm gonna get you a completion, and then afterwards, well, I'm gonna do things that not many could do in the game.
And it really is reminiscent of the relationship at their peak between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
It is.
Who at the beginning of practice each week, the offense gets together and works on a fun play. They bring it to Andy Reid at the end of the week, and he decides whether to put it into plays.
Kind of like that.
First down and 10. And there is nothing there for Dallin Hayden. Good job up front, and then Ethan Barr coming in to help out.
No, but it's going to take some time off the clock. And remember, UCF, just the one timeout. They will get the ball to begin the second half. So kind of some cool just game management here, too. Don't give too much time back to UCF and maybe an extra possession.
2nd and 10. Sanders with pressure up the gut. He's going to run this time, and so there's Sanders down at the 23-yard line in the arms of Mac McWilliams.
And no reason to be in a hurry here whatsoever.
And Shermer talking with the helmet communication to Sanders. That cuts off at the 15-second mark on the play clock.
And Hunter is going to be to the top of the field. We saw the touchdown earlier. If I'm Ted Roof, I am not leaving number 12 one-on-one.
Third and 6. Sanders to the sideline. It's Hunter. Hunter gave up a little yardage, and down he goes. Will forward progress be enough for the first down? It will not. A yard short as Jackson and Bullard combine on the stop.
So they leave a one-on-one, and there's just that little hitch route. It's a long throw across the field, and a nice job there by Jackson, who's been picked on, to actually get Travis Hunter to the ground.
UCF takes their third and final
UCF uses
of the half.
their third and final timeout with 46 seconds to go in this first half before 4th and 1. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. You see, the rush offense of UCF has been a bit stymied today, but KJ Jefferson has shown off the arm a little bit more than usual.
I give a lot of credit to Wonkwo, him coming back in the middle of that line for defensively for Colorado and their edges. And then look at Shadur's efficiency, 21 of 26. And he's just not been battered, right? You watch all these other games that he plays. A couple weeks ago up in Nebraska, he just gets hit and hit and hit.
I think it's 1 sack so far today.
And just a couple hits. And that sack was really, I think he would even tell you, that was more self-induced, trying to hold the ball.
Going to try for the field goal. This will be 36 yards for Alejandro Mata.
Buford, Georgia, originally a soccer player, became a U.S. citizen in May. And Mata's field goal is good, and the Buffs' lead is 10. 24-14. Colorado with a 10-point advantage, in UCF with no timeouts and 42 seconds if they want to try to put something together and double up. Tomorrow we've got a huge day of NFL football on Fox at 1 Eastern. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Be like Brock and watch Bengals Panthers. Or at 4, the Patriots take on Brock Purdy and the Niners. Brock Heward's watching Bengals Panthers. Brock Purdy's playing a game. Check local listings for the game in your area. It all starts tomorrow on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Coming off of a bye week, I think Gus Malzahn expected a little more out of that run game. And for T.O. and for Warren Sapp, you know what they've watched for a first half? A complete game. Running it, throwing it, special teams, defending pretty well.
Picked up at the goal line and trying to find running room. Won't even get to the 20-yard line. Xavier Townsend, K.J. Jefferson in the offense going back to work. What have you seen in his first half, Brock?
Well, I've seen a couple big plays. This was beautiful, and that was really well scripted to get a one-on-one there with RJ versus Bentley. But he's had to throw it more. Like the strength of his game, the strength of UCF and their team is going to be running it first and then shots after it. That was a beautiful touchdown run, running right through DJ McKinney as well. So he's been okay, but as a group, they would tell you, hey man, our identity is us up front. Our identity is running at you, and 47 yards in the first half as a team, even though he's thrown it well, that's not good enough.
Clean pocket to the sideline, short gain, and out of bounds goes Randy Pittman at the 20-yard line. 33 seconds left until the half is over.
If K.J. Jefferson throws it 35 times today, advantage Colorado.
No doubt.
If R.J. Harvey runs it 30 times, advantage UCF. And right now, it is clearly, for Gus Malzahn, not the style of game that he wants to play for 4 quarters.
17 runs, 12 passes. Out of kilter right now. And another pass dropped. R.J. Harvey tried to turn upfield before he tucked that one away, and it's 3rd down and 6.
You better be careful here now.
Colorado has 1 timeout left.
Sure do. Yeah, this bounce house goes from one extreme to the other very quickly. Have you noticed that?
It is lacking in bounce right now. Pressure comes. In trouble. Down he goes. Tajay McCoy, the first to get to K.J. Jefferson.
Well, and I would put the big right tackle. Rubelt is another guy that's going to be better run first than doing this, taking a pass set. But give the redshirt freshman an immense amount of credit, getting underneath the 6'10 German. And for McCoy, celebrate that, man. Your first, the redshirt freshman, your first sack of your career.
And Deion Sanders told us he was expecting a little more from the defensive ends. He's got to be delighted. Arden Walker, Samuel Okunlola, Tajay McCoy. We've called all their names today, making big plays in this first half.
They have just been like disciplined. And let's give Robert Livingston some credit, the first-year D coordinator, because this was at times a sieve last year. Right, that first half in Nebraska, in fact, was pretty frightening if you're a Colorado fan. But it kind of turned then, Kevin. That second half, that defense showed up. They kind of buckled down. They buckled their chin strap, and they played a whole lot better. And from that moment on, with again of less than 350 yards a game the last 3 weeks for Deion Sanders, this is the kind of team ball that he's been waiting to see.
Remember, they held Baylor to 7 points in the final 34 minutes. And it was a high-scoring game, but a little misleading. From the 38. Horn reversing his field. Look out. Jimmy Horn Jr. sets up Colorado for an opportunity to put points on the board before halftime.
I think he was moving so fast that ball almost couldn't keep up. And there it is, once again, that explosiveness, that play in the perimeter out in space as he tries to switch hands right there. And then I think he also looked up at that clock and went, man, I keep running. We may run out of time. 8 seconds here, and you need about 10 more for Mata. You got that timeout. And how big would 3 more points of add-on be?
No timeout.
Oh, no
they used that one to get the punt.
There you go.
So no timeouts, but if they get a first down, the clock will stop. Gonna have to do it quickly, though, if you want to have a chance to spike the football. Very fast.
Where's 12?
12 is going to be at the top of your screen. Sanders throws it short. Catch made by Welch, and he gets out of bounds. 4 seconds to go. Gain of 6 to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, you got to kick it now.
They're going to bring on Alejandro Mata. He hit from 47 last year. That was his long a year ago. This will be 46. So from 46, a chance to steal 3 free points before halftime. Mata's kick, low line drive, and good.
Right, walkthroughs at the hotel, you wouldn't have known it because that was a sharp first 30 minutes of play.
Colorado may practice here every week all season the way they've looked in this first half. Let's see what UCF's response is. They're going to get the football to start off the second half. As we check in with Allison Williams, we're talking with both coaches. Allison?
Yeah, Kevin, we are coming into our own. That's how Deion Sanders described his team's performance in the first half. Most pleased with their ability to protect the quarterback, just allowing 1 sack, and their ability to efficiently and physically run the ball. I asked him how they've been able to outrush the top rushing offense in the country. He said will and effort. We have a certain pace and a certain standard we practice to. We're starting to show it. As for Gus Malzahn and this UCF offense, he said the execution is just not at the level we need it to be. We have to make some adjustments. We saw more zone. They did a good job of mixing it up defensively. It's got to be better.
And movement up front. Execution not going to thrill Gus Malzahn early if that's movement on the offensive line.
Offside, number 92, defense. Entered the neutral zone, drawing an offensive reaction. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But the Alabama transfer, Antoine Barnes, called for the offsides.
That's how you get to be a one and done.
Yeah.
One snap, you saw him run by Warren Sapp, like, don't do that.
And the handoff to the motion man, that's Richardson, makes a nice move, and out to the 40-yard line goes Johnny Richardson.
I said to you at halftime there, Kevin, like the adjustment for UCF has to be to get this ball to the perimeter. The ends have just been pinching everything from Colorado. Got to get it outside.
Trying to bounce outside is R.J. Harvey, and Harvey lunging forward close to a 3-yard gain before Cam Silman-Craig can bring him down.
They cannot move Nwankwo inside. He is just anchoring down, taking on double teams. These edges have been really stout and secure. So whether it's jet sweep, whether it's crack screens, whether it's toss sweep, somehow, some way, UCF to get their run game going is going to have to get out in the alleys because they're not getting anything around the tackle box.
Nwankwo back today after missing a couple of games, a shoulder injury, bothering him since the Nebraska game. The pitch to the outside, and it's Richardson on the edge again, and with the speed, close to a first down. You said it, get to the outside. UCF on 2 of their 3 runs in this third quarter to the outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's the advantage. Gus Malzahn calls the plays. This has been his system forever. Same plays he ran at Shiloh Christian High School in Arkansas. And when you know it like the back of your hand and you see how a team is playing you have the ability to make adjustments. A week ago or 2 weeks ago at TCU, simplify. Was doing too much. Ran right at them, took their shots. Today, you're going to have to expand the run game because the simplification didn't work in the first half.
Penny Boone in the backfield on 3rd and 2. It is Boone up the middle, and this time a hole opens in the middle, a rare hole for UCF's run game.
Yeah, and you saw Hill Green there try to take a shot. The linebacker jumped into the inside gap, allowed Penny Boone to look at it, find the open gap, and move the sticks.
Boone again. Cannot get free. BJ Green with a flag down. Green the first there, Nwankwo the second.
Holding, number 78, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Amari Kite, the left tackle, with the hold.
That's a big old left tackle, and you can just see the hands right there. And anytime that ball starts to bounce outside, you see the full deltoid. I know my muscles. I don't have them, but I know them. Once you see that full deltoid that official does, the holding call's coming.
I'm impressed that anatomy class you took is really paying big dividends for you. First down and 20 now, and the keeper for KJ Jefferson. Jefferson gets it all back on one play.
Well, a nice job right here, okay? Creating some movement. We're not able to do that to Nwankwo. You're able to move Barnes and create that hole.
With pace, Jefferson again twisted forward to the 32 by Okunlola.
Cannot be surprised at all that it's run. Because they're going to win this game, right? Facing who they're facing on the other side. Look at it right there. Like, you know, you got to play to your identity. Like, we are, and up front, it's who we are. That's what we are made of. Those are Gus Malzahn's words to us yesterday. We have a halftime to regroup and a commitment to that run game.
6 plays, all runs to start this third quarter. And now on an end around, patience for Townsend, but nowhere to go. Well, what kills a run play? Penetration, and Colorado got plenty of that, a 4-yard loss.
They sure did, and I'm telling you, BJ Green is playing the best game he has as a Buffalo. The transfer from Arizona State, really excited about him. And it may not show up on the stat sheet, but that guy has been so fundamental, so sound. That end around comes, he keeps it inside of him and allows his buddies to rally.
Went from a walk-on at Arizona State to a guy who played in 36 games with the Sun Devils in 3 years. Third and 10. Floats it up, one-on-one, on the sideline, batted away by Preston Hodge. He wanted Kobe Hudson, and Hudson has been blanketed today. Nothing doing for the Knights' leading receiver.
Well, again, you get to 3rd and 10, advantage Colorado, and you're just in straight man-to-man here. And you know, as a corner, these inside fades have become so popular. Hodge played the corner route to perfection for a pick on the opening series, and that time you just can't do it better.
So they're going to bring the field goal unit on for a long 55-yard try. Now, Colton Boomer hit from 55 last year. His long this year is 50. Going to have to hurry. The play clock down to 2, down to 1. They just get the snap off, and Boomer's kick is wide to the left. So the scramble to get the field goal unit out pushes it left, and UCF ends up with nothing on their opening drive of the third quarter. Colorado offense when we return.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. This was earlier today. NASA's SpaceX Crew 9 mission launched from Cape Canaveral. Nick Hague and Alexander Gorbanov are headed to the ISS, the International Space Station. It's also going to bring back astronauts Barry Wilmore and Sunita Williams. They've been up there since June, and they're coming home after this SpaceX launch to go get them.
Pretty awesome. Some on the crew more excited than others.
Oh, very much so. I'm fired up. Anytime you can see a rocket launch, that's a cool thing. And Shedeur Sanders has really helped Colorado's offense achieve high orbit so far today.
2 of 27 is winning football.
On first down, a couple of yards up the middle for Dallin Hayden. Ethan Barr with the tackle. Well, the third quarter has been a great quarter for both of these teams. UCF is going to need to have this third quarter be strong if they're going to come back in this game.
Game of adjustments. You saw the adjustments that Gus Malzahn tried to make by running the football. I think for Colorado, it's more of the same. Be balanced offensively. Threat to run and pass.
27 passes, 16 runs for Colorado. Sanders back to the air, to the sideline. Diving catch with a first down made. Jimmy Horn Jr., who's now lost his helmet for a second time, and Shedeur Sanders down with a flag down in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 5, defense. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down.
Ricky Barber with the flag means a 29-yard gain for CU.
Yeah, I think what happens here is after Shedeur releases the ball, he's not feeling any of this backside pressure, so your body just kind of loosens up, and bam, you take one right between the shoulder blades, and if anything, kind of knocks the wind out of you for a second. I think that's what happens right here, because he was not expecting that shot at all. And I don't think he would take necessarily the 15 yards for the pain, but he might take the 15 yards for that. Not a good decision from the fifth-year senior Barber.
And to the 33-yard line go the Buffaloes on their first possession of this third quarter. Sanders wide open. Shepard all alone, and it's first down at the 1, but the ball pops out. They're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. Down at the 1, Will Shepard sets up first and goal.
Wow, this is going to be huge. He's down. That might even be a touchdown depending on if their body part was down before the ball reaches.
The runner was down prior to the ball coming loose. It's first
hip is down, totally down. Unbelievable play. Right off the jump, just tossed Antoine Jackson aside, and as easy a pitch and catch as it gets.
And from the 1 on first down, it's Welch in for the touchdown for Colorado.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I got to cover Travis Hunter. I got to cover Horn. I got to cover Wester, and now I got to cover this 6'3" guy named Will Shepard, who already made a fantastic touchdown earlier. And it's 6'3", 205 pounds, loads of experience and production. Remember, over 2,000 yards as a receiver at Vanderbilt. And Welch, I kind of like this touchdown thing. A couple of them last week. I'll take it.
Mandeville High School product with Shepard. And then Micah Welch into the end zone out of Baldwin High School in Georgia.
Who are these Buffaloes?
They are a different team today. Will Shepard playing a huge role. But as big a role for Colorado, the suddenly resurgent rushing attack. Eat your heart out, Rashawn Salam.
Colorado number 26 is wearing jersey number 5.
How many play?
Fox College Football is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. The late, great Rashawn Salam, one of the best individual seasons in college football history, 2,055 yards. Unanimous All-American, won the 1994 Heisman Trophy. To be brutally honest, one of my favorite running backs to watch in the old
Big Eight
days.
They were running downhill.
Oh. He is certainly missed, but a fantastic rusher that has clearly inspired a little bit of what we've seen from Colorado on the ground today. And a fair catch called for, and UCF back to work. But Travis Hunter inspires this Buffalo team every game this season.
Yeah, he's just everywhere. And is he a corner? Is he a receiver? What is he going to be at the next level? I don't really care about any of that. Can we just enjoy this guy for what he is? For the 84 plays he's played today, and honestly, that's Kelsey and Mahomes stuff. That's what they do. We just go out and we create. And then don't do that. Like, whatever you do, don't throw a contested 50-50 ball his way, because it ain't going to work. I think that's what Dion was just saying right there.
I believe so. From the 25-yard line, that's R.J. Harvey, steps through one tackle, and Harvey to the 28. And for more on Travis, we check in with Allison.
All right, when you're on the field as much as Travis Hunter is, there's not a lot of time to come to the sideline, sit down, catch your breath. Not that he ever really looks out of breath. So I put a stopwatch on him when he is able to sit. The only time is after they score on touchdown during the kickoff. It's about 2 minutes and 50 seconds of time that he has to actually sit down in between offense and defense.
It's a remarkable thing that he's doing. Yep. Every single week. Good run after catch for Javarius Johnson. Gets the first down.
He doesn't take plays off. Like, he's mad right there that he didn't make that tackle, but he plays every play. They were saying during training camp there were times he was up over 12,000 yards on his catapult system. That's almost 7 miles. And that's sprinting. Right? I mean, that is back and forth between receiver and DB. Superhuman efforts.
On first down, Jefferson gets away from one, and superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
First down, Colorado.
Ooh, and he just popped a little high. Did he just do that?
I believe he did.
Did he just Desmond Howard that? Look at the eyes and the awareness. And don't you test him deep, and then the short area quickness. Watch this burst, Kugler, when he puts his foot in the ground and how quickly he covers and finishes.
And is this foreshadowing? Oh my.
Maybe it was that conversation yesterday with Charles Woodson. Maybe it was all this conversation like, well, is he? I mean, are the stats there? What is he?
The odds right now are astronomical against him winning,
which is ridiculous.
It's a difficult argument to make that he's not the best player by a long way in this sport. Sanders with a flag down, motors out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
I mean, that was just ludicrous. You know what I get? I get sometimes, Kevin. You come into a broadcast, oh, you're just going to talk about Shedeur and you're going to talk about Travis, and everybody's just going to talk about him, even if he's not making. Look at the plays he's making.
I mean, that's abnormal, what he's doing. And again, remember, he's played nearly 100 plays today.
Oh, but it's hot and it's humid, and I don't know if he's going to be really? I mean, he's from Georgia. He's played in the heat and humidity. I think he loves this stage.
Offense. There were more than 4 lined up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Down.
And you know what I think LC likes? I think he likes being doubted.
I think so too.
What was the podcast this week? That he was bland?
Richard Sherman and
Sherman.
Amon-Ra St. Brown discussing his style. He came out with a T-shirt on today that said bland, because that was what they said his style was, bland, his receiving style.
Ooh. Come on, Sherman.
And now we've got flags again. This is not exactly the way Colorado wanted to follow up that interception, though, with Deion Sanders saying that same thing.
Number 58, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Third false start of the day for Colorado.
Well, he knows, like, you got to finish. It was 29-0 on Sanford last year at half. Like, you got to finish. You know, you got to finish a game. You got to finish a season. You got to finish these conversations. Like, and you do that by playing 22 minutes like you played the previous 38.
Now 1st and 20. Welch, nowhere to go. Ushered out of bounds at the 45, and after the interception, all Colorado's done is go in reverse.
Yeah, and I think he is hamstringing. And you see a guy, the player pull up a little bit like that. You hope that that is a cramp and nothing more. But yeah, avoiding the negative plays was such a part of that first half and that opening drive and staying ahead of schedule. But kind of like they did on that last 2nd and 20, 3rd and 20. Go get half of it back. You don't need all of it right now. Just go get chunks.
2nd and 27. Pressure, Sanders on the move, buying time. Finding an open man, it's Hunter, and a good tackle. That was well played all the way around. Those corners had to cover for a long time there, and then a good tackle by Mac McWilliams.
Yeah, it's one thing to try to keep Shedeur in the pocket, and then it's another to try to cover, where is this guy going? What space is he going to find? And then ultimately when he does catch it, well, this is one of the rare times they could actually get him right to the ground.
Loss of 2 makes it 3rd and 29 now. They'll bring pressure. Sanders will roll, throws it short and out of bounds at the 47. Hunter with the grab there, but far from a Colorado first down, and the punt unit will come on with Mark Fassett.
And what did Allison say? He gets his 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and let's see if he tries to count and make sure they got the right. That was my thing of all the images today. And when Deion Sanders says, like, this guy's just different. When he was out there on safe punt, counting and making sure they had the right numbers out there, it's the epitome of a football player.
Angling this one towards the sideline. Fair catch called and made inside the 10. And a timeout here in Orlando. The Buffaloes seeing the bright lights in Orlando, and Colorado up 34-14. Welcome back to Fox College Football, sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico. Alongside Brock Hewitt with Allison Williams. I'm Kevin Kugler back in Orlando. Time for our Aflac trivia question. Get help with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. In the last 30 years, what's the most number of losses by a Heisman Trophy winner's respective team?
I know the answer to that one, actually.
And don't give it away yet. Let others play along at home. Off the play fake and a strike to Whittemore. Whittemore on the run, out to the 35, still on his feet, he twisted away. They're not ruling this down yet, and he's into Colorado territory, inside the 40, and at the 38-yard line, a gain of 56.
Well, you put together the recipe for a comeback. It starts with explosive plays. He rolls over the hip. I don't see anything down. That hand and wrist is okay as long as the forearm stays up. It does. That is tremendous body control from the 6'4", 210-pound receiver.
And what a giant play for UCF. Play action again over the middle, finds Kobe Hudson. Hudson breaks free and an ankle tackle at the 15. Cam Silman-Craig may have saved the touchdown with that shoestring grab.
I mean, look at this. This is 30 seconds, 2 plays, cover the length of the field. Ooh, there's a nice little move on Travis Hunter as well. You don't see him buckle like that very often. Great quickness from Hudson.
Well, the head linesman with a play stoppage. Travis Hunter was over talking with his head coach. Play stops for a moment. Now we're ready. And the play fake into the end zone for a Townsend touchdown. What an answer. The quick strike offense for Central Florida, and UCF's on the board.
Yeah, that was 92 yards in a minute, and just a little slant route here, and you're going to see the safety there. Stoppmeyer just does not take the angle, right? Just tries to undercut that angle. Colorado is a man team. They don't play a lot of zone. And I think that play showed why. Much better in man coverage, but you play man, you get exposed to the explosive play. I think you also see why Dion was so ticked off about that last offensive possession.
Pick good. And UCF back in this ballgame in fast fashion. 3 plays, downfield, touchdown, and the Knights have stormed back. Colorado's lead down to 13 after a 1-minute, 20-second, 92-yard drive from UCF to get the Knights back into this ball game. And about to get back into the ball game, Travis Hunter, but the crowd re-energized by that touchdown drive. Forced error, kickoff out of bounds.
Ball replaced on the
UCF
35-yard line.
with a big mistake. Colton Boomer booms it out. Time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. The question: in the last 30 years, the most number of losses by a Heisman Trophy winner's respective team. The answer is 3 losses. 5 different times. Ricky Williams, Tim Tebow, RG3, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, most recent winner, all won it with teams with 3 losses. We bring this up because the question inevitably comes: how good does the record have to be for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman?
How about there?
On first down, it's Miller. And Miller out across the 35 to the 37. So what do you think?
No, I think that's fair.
Is 3, if they're more than 3 losses, but he's far and away the best player in college football.
So he's the guy in the engine behind this, and they go from 1-11 to 4-8 to 8-4, 9-3?
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, honestly, I just, no one is doing what he is doing in all phases.
And none of those guys I mentioned were two-way players. Breaking a tackle, Isaiah Augusta. First time we've called his name today, and Augusta with those fresh legs to the UCF 43-yard line. Jackson and Bullard combined for the stop.
Wow, and once again, Hank Zielinskis right in the middle of this, who Coach Prime said has got to do a better job. You can't do it much better than that. And then you got to break a tackle. That's what Pat Shermer said too, right? Like, ultimately, hey man, when you get to that second or third level, then it's incumbent upon you. You got to be a difference maker. A 21-yard rush, the longest of the day.
And a first down and 10 from the UCF 42. It's Augusta again. Slips through an opening, breaks a tackle. Similar play, similar result for Augusta. Broke that initial contact and gets 19.
Wow. This running back room isn't just 1, it isn't just 2. It's amazing what a little competition will do there, right? Well, the freshman scored some touchdowns. Hayden's done some nice things. And now Augusta says, I get my chance to eat, I'm going to deliver.
Over 100 yards rushing today for a team that averages just under 69 a game this season. On first down, play action. Sanders working wide of Jimmy Horn Jr.
Sanders passes incomplete.
I like that call. A couple runs, you get one-on-one. A little different not to have Hunter out there, and that's nothing against the 5'10", 170-pound Horn. He is a dynamic playmaker as well. But that shows you a little bit of difference. If that's Travis Hunter, I don't think that ball hits the ground.
Hunter's at the top of the screen right now. Play action. Sanders dancing, breaks free. Shadur Sanders on the ground at the 10-yard line and down. It'll be first and goal, Colorado.
Once again, a pretty good job. Watch the right tackle way up here. He is just going to toss somebody to the ground, and that's somebody's 320-pound Lee Hunter, so Shadur can do the rest.
Sanders, a little flip forward. Western with his speed to the goal line, and a touchdown.
Touchdown, Colorado. 10-yard touchdown run by
What a response. Just when maybe a little doubt was creeping in, like, a little bit of undiscipline on that previous drive. A little, Colorado doesn't blink, and they come right back. And look at Dion go right to Augusta because he knows that sets the table for everything else. All the flash, all the great passing plays, that's wonderful. They know they can do that. But just the guts and the guile to run it right down UCF's throat.
41-21. Colorado with his biggest offensive outburst of the season already, and we're still in the third quarter.
You were talking a little Big A football earlier. This is kind of like now, Jamal Holloway and those guys used to pitch it behind him, but look at the little pitch forward here from Shedeur. Like, yeah, let me just give you a little toss right out there, and guess who set it all up? Travis. He was out there blocking.
He was there.
Yeah, the play was, you know, that little forward pass was behind the line of scrimmage. So Travis could just go do his thing and go take that safety out. I mean, once again, is it like an unbelievable block? No. But does it absolutely make your buddies around you better? Yes, which is another reason the guy's a Heisman frontrunner for me. All those guys with 3 losses, you read them all. What did they all do? They made everybody around them better. So does Travis, and in that case, it was LaJonte coming back to Florida for a tug.
Could have seen Darian Hagan make that play.
There you go.
One
Even
number
better.
off of Shedeur. He was, I think, number 3. A fair catch made at the 5. Coming up next on Fox, it's baseball night in America. Francisco Lindor and the Mets look to move one step closer to a wild card spot as they take on the Brewers, or Carlos Correa and the Twins battle the Orioles. It all begins next on Fox. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Think there's any nervous Mets fans out there?
Oh, Mets fans are completely nervous. Look at these standings. You've got 2 spots. You've got 3 teams vying for it. San Diego's already in. Atlanta, the Mets, and the Diamondbacks. And there could be a Monday doubleheader between the Braves and Mets after the hurricane impact. On the keep, it's KJ Jefferson. And Jefferson blasted at the 48-yard line by McKinney, but a keeper for 23 for KJ Jefferson.
And once again, the one thing if you're Colorado you cannot give up are these explosive plays. And if you're UCF, this is how you can keep this game within reach.
Jefferson pulls it. The swing to the edge, and well defended by guess who? Travis Hunter.
Jefferson completes.
Jeez. He just sees everything. You know, and Richard Sherman could call him a bland receiver, but Richard Sherman played corner this same way. He loved to hit. He loved to finish. He loved forcing that fumble last week to win the game. He does not shy away from contact.
Hunter would have fit with the Legion of Boom.
Yes.
2nd down and 7. Harvey. And Harvey stayed up and able to get the 1st down. He bent backwards, but the ball coming out at the end of the play, and it's Colorado ball. DJ McKinney ends up with the football after Harvey's 2nd effort got him to the yards to gain for the 1st down.
That's going to be really close at the end of the play.
Is he down?
Nope.
Nope. Ball's out.
And that is Shane Cokes, the big defensive tackle, the 6th-year former Ivy Leaguer. Punching it out for the 3rd takeaway from Colorado.
And UCF, which had gained a little bit of momentum back, moving the ball on the ground.
This whole Big 12, a little different if Colorado can play complementary football. Enter into a little conversation, not just about being maybe a bowl team, if they can just continue to finish.
Well, they have not played quarters 1, 2, and 3 like this season.
Nope.
That play will take us to quarter.
He's having a blast.
15 minutes to go in this one, and Colorado making a statement on the road through 3 quarters. Can UCF rally? They rally to the football with Josiah Pierre leading the charge to bring down Isaiah Augusta for a 2-yard loss.
Well, 2 weeks ago, they didn't blink and they didn't flinch, and they were down 21 as they came all the way back on the road. But you've got to get off the field. When you do all this work to get to 3rd and 11 right here, you've got to keep Shedeur in the pocket. As he's extended plays, it's been a problem for the Knights.
3rd down and 11. Sanders in trouble, and down he goes. Malachi Lawrence closing the door on the Buffs, and a 3 and out.
Yeah, Ted Roof said finally, like, enough's enough. I'm not going to let him sit back. So a blitz from here, and then a really good rush from Lawrence. Had a bunch of sacks a season ago, 7.5. That is the first on the season. As he gets by Houston and Shedeur for one of the first times. Faces pressure he's faced for most of this season.
And the UCF defense, to their credit, 2 of the last 3 drives, 3 and out pitched. They're going to need more of that, and then they're going to need their offense to put points on the board. Down 41-21 early here in the 4th. Xavier Townsend from the 30. Nice move. Townsend trying to bounce it to the edge, and he's run out of bounds just shy of the 45 with a flag down, back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding number 39, kicking team. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the return. It's 1st down, UCF.
Let's go back to that game you mentioned, Brock. The UCF comeback against TCU, down 28-7 in the 3rd. Outscored the Horned Frogs 28-6 to get the 35-34 win 2 weeks ago.
We heard to a man yesterday in the building that nobody blinked. And this is a player-led team. Gus Malzahn's really turned this locker room over to KJ Jefferson and the 5th and 6th-year players. They really inhabitate that locker room. And Gus said, hey, man, like, they believe. Like, they are not going to get stressed. They are not going to quit, but it means, like, playing fast and getting those explosive plays like they had on that last two drives ago. 91 yards in 120 seconds. Got to replicate that.
You mentioned it earlier, though, the number's 250 for the rushing attack for Gus Malzahn. Yeah. They're a long way away from that. 125 on the ground today. The officials over talking with Gus Malzahn.
Travis still talking.
He's got the energy to talk, too. It's amazing. So there was the penalty on the punt, and they've assessed it at the end of the punt, and now we're having a long conversation with the head coach of UCF.
Correction, since the foul occurred during the kick, during the blocking aspect of the kick, the penalty must be enforced at the previous spot. UCF has elected to decline the penalty. It's 1st down Colorado at the end of the return.
1st down UCF at the end of the return.
All right, let's go. Come on.
I think they're going to have to adjust this spot back towards the 44-yard line of UCF.
The foul is enforced correctly. The penalty is enforced 10 yards from the end of the return. 1st down UCF.
Okay. Never mind, they're not moving the spot. I don't know why you thought they were going to move the spot. A lot of conversation to find out exactly where we're supposed to be here at the 46-yard line. Jay Harvey wrapped up near the 40-yard line. Jalen Wester with the tackle. Pace important, time certainly a factor. 13 minutes to go, down 20. Second and 4, backside pressure. Jefferson's in trouble, and down he goes. Samuel Okunlola with the sack.
Wow, and that, again, these edges, Kevin, we've talked about it today right here. These are 2 giant tackles for UCF, 6'10", 6'7", but both better in the run game, 2 upright, and there's the burst and the speed and then the power to finish. I mean, it's like tackling Ben Roethlisberger back in the day. That is not an easy guy to corral and get to the ground.
Boy, UCF is fortunate Jefferson was able to somehow secure that football. Okunlola nearly the strip sack and the takeaway. Jefferson again steps away from pressure, throws over the middle, and that's incomplete. Wanted Kobe Hudson, couldn't connect.
Yep.
4th down.
And that's just a miss. And that's some of the hits that he's taken. That's a little bit of a cumulative effect. But also at his best for Gus Malzahn when they are a run-first team. And the fact that Colorado has put them in this mode really over the course of the last 3 quarters is advantage Buffalo.
The offense stays out on the field. 4th and 10. 4-man rush. Jefferson in trouble again, able to break free. Direct in traffic. Jefferson has the 1st down. That's outstanding work by the veteran 5th-year quarterback.
Wow. Yeah, that's like desperation. You know, you get in this mode and you feel that pocket collapsing around you. And right here, points at the receiver. Just go, give me some space so I can outrun that D-line. And take a little kiss from Travis Hunter as well.
The 35 on 1st down. Jefferson hit as he throws down the sideline, incomplete. Cam Silman-Craig came over, got a hand on that ball, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he is. He's a little firecracker on the back end, but look at the rush. And can I point out, just like the pants, the amount of sweat? Honestly, like these guys are playing so hard, and that timing perfect from Silman-Craig.
Equipment crew's going to have a hard time cleaning this up.
Just a nightmare.
2nd and 10. Jefferson design run. Little hop step, slips through, and is down, close to another 1st down. Nakai Hill-Green with the tackle, but it is 10 yards on the ground and a 1st.
What he said to us yesterday, can you hit me for 4 quarters? Colorado is, but it's taken a whole lot of different defenders to do so.
A little hesitation, then the burst from R.J. Harvey. In just a few moments, some of you will be taken to our Baseball Night in America coverage. For those of you leaving us, you can continue watching our game on Fox Business Network. All Fox games are also available on the Fox Sports app. 2nd down and 4, and able to get him down was B.J. Green, the first to make a play. And again, we keep talking about it, but these defensive ends for Colorado make play after play after play today.
Just so good, and he gets underneath once again that left tackle Kite. He's on the ground, and he is fighting, and he is clawing, and he is scratching, and he's playing the kind of effort that Robert Livingston, that young defensive coordinator, loves.
8 tackles for loss today. Jefferson upended at the 20-yard line. No gain on the play, and it brings up 4th down.
That is a heck of a play by Hill-Green right through R.J. Harvey. R.J. is the lead blocker right there with K.J. coming behind him, and he has to dispose of the tailback and then go right to the legs to kill the motor of that 250-pound quarterback.
4th and 5. And timeout, Colorado.
Colorado takes the first charge timeout of the
9:48 to go in the 4th. Critical 4th and 5 for UCF. Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Winning is an attitude in the halls of UCF, and they're going to need a little attitude here. This is a critical 4th and 5.
I think Dion felt that as well and called that timeout to make that point to these guys, to let them catch their breath, because you get this stop right here with 9 minutes to go. It's not over. It is never over in college football, but you give yourself a tremendous chance to go on the road and win.
Especially the way you've run the ball today, and maybe a chance to shrink the game if you're Colorado. First things first, though, UCF has designs on a 1st down and more. And movement up front by B.J. Green. The hard count from K.J. Jefferson may have just earned a 1st.
Into the neutral zone, drawing an offensive reaction. The 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
That is such a killer, and BJ knew it. He has played such a good game, but a savvy play from the 6-year quarterback.
Second offsides of the day. This one gives a 1st down to UCF. And on 1st down, it's Harvey. Harvey into the secondary and down inside the 5. 1st and goal at the 2, a 12-yard pickup for R.J. Harvey.
Yeah, and that is Bentley, the linebacker, right there, that he finally does Harvey run right through the tackle to get one of those 10+ yard runs.
And there's an injured Buffalo, and it's Chidozie Nwankwo.
One of the best in college football, really, since the start of last year, at creating these kind of runs, 10+ yards. And it's shedding tackles just like that. Bentley and Hill Green have been on the field quite a bit. No Trevor Woods on this trip. He usually rotates and gives those guys a little bit of a blow, but Harvey not slowing down.
No Jeremiah Brown on the other side with Trevor Woods. 1st down and goal. Jefferson. Pressure comes, and Jefferson has to get rid of it. He had pressure right in his face from Okunlola, who had a sack earlier. 2nd and goal, 9:20 to go.
How many hits has KJ taken today?
More than Shadur.
Yeah, a lot more.
Now, part of that's because he utilizes the run so much more. But
yep. But he takes some punishment in this system, too.
121 yards rushing in the second half. The run game's going a little bit. Now they'll go Wildcat with R.J. Harvey. On 2nd and goal, and he gives it to the motion man, trying to find some room around the edge. Johnny Richardson can't.
Look at the effort from Okunlola. Again, sideline to sideline. These edges have been there at the point of attack. These edges have continued to run, and hands on hip. You guys are just playing hard. Kevin, when was the last time, and you've watched a lot of Big 8, a lot of Big 12, that you've seen Colorado play this hard all game long?
It's been a long time. Multiple regimes. This Colorado team came in here with the goal to play with effort. They've certainly done that. 3rd and goal. Jefferson back of the end zone. Leaping grab out of bounds. Pittman trying to get that foot down, and he could not stick it in the back of the end zone.
Yep, just a little bit late. Yeah, that right foot goes out of bounds first. Couldn't just quite keep that one up, and the left foot down. Kind of one of these attitude plays again.
4th and goal. Jefferson. Pressure. Jefferson stays up. Jefferson floats it out. Harvey looking for the goal line, and he is stopped short at the 1. KJ Jefferson nearly pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Instead, it's Travis Hunter
with his teammates that save it for Colorado.
Who?
Hunter Travis, number 12. Plays a little. Got a bright future, I think.
I think that's why there's 8 NFL teams here watching this one. Does the ball ever cross? Nope, he is down, and it is inches away.
So close and yet so far. Buffs take over up 20.
Families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. Watch the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis' speech today talking about the problems in the Big Bend region. First known Cat 4 to hit there since records began in 1851. Damage estimated in the billions from Hurricane Helene. Let's go back to that last play. You saw Colorado starting at the 9. They ruled him down with his forearm down.
And just tremendous effort from the quarterback, who is just, like so many of these guys today, giving it his all, but that elbow and that forearm clearly down at the 9. And you can just see the sweat dripping from his nose as he's looking at that play.
Sad fans right now.
He didn't expend the energy. Come on, get up.
He's tired. It's been a long day. Was it Big Noon kickoff? DJ Khaled? Come on. I mean, you saw Mark Ingram. You were over there today. You know Mark Ingram looks just like that right now. He's exhausted. He sweat through his suit today.
Yes.
Colorado 7.5 away from just an absolutely dominant and impressive victory.
I mean, complete. And KJ be the first to tell you, like, yeah, man, these guys, they come at you and they play hard and they just never, ever, ever relented.
3rd down and 4. Sanders floating it out, in and out of the hands of LeJohntay Wester with Mac McWilliams on coverage.
Ooh, that was a nice job by McWilliams. Timing-wise here, I love the concept. 3rd and 5, you get in that bunch. You got man-to-man coverage in the corner route, but you can't play it much better than that. When those DBs see the receiver's hands, right? That's what they're looking for there. They'll tell those hands go and reach out, then you've got to separate the ball from them. And they force, again, another, what is that, 3 out of 4 drives?
Yep, 3 out of 4, 3 and out. Pressure up the middle, just got rid of that one. From the 35.
First man misses, and out of bounds goes Xavier Townsend after the 45-yard punt. A timeout on the field. But the Colorado Buffaloes all smiles today, looking for their 4th win of the season and a big road win in Orlando.
If he is there in December claiming a trophy, you will see this pose at the Heisman ceremony from Travis Hunter. Time now for Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. The most impressive number on that list is the very bottom number, 121 snaps played. It's absurd.
2 games in the NFL. Right? The average play is about 60 to 65 plays a game.
There's R.J. Harvey in trouble and dropped. B.J. Green stayed right with it.
And when you have guys like Charles Woodson and obviously his head coach saying, I mean, this just has never been done before. Honestly, the only comp is Shohei Ohtani, what Ohtani does. And when other people like in that league marvel at him, it's the same thing in this game with Travis.
Which is why I think it doesn't matter. Now, you can't go 6 or 7 losses, but I don't think it matters if this is an 8-4 Colorado team. He's still far and away the best player in college football.
Yeah, and I'll make the point again, like all Heisman Trophy winners, like Jaden last year, who also lost 3 games, you elevate everybody around you and the impact. You're playing 10 on 10, right? They attacked him one time on a contested ball. They threw one late that he picked. Otherwise, he just eliminates someone from the game.
Jefferson in some trouble, and Jefferson will go down. There's a flag down behind the play as Tajay McCoy, the first to get to KJ Jefferson.
I think that may be against Tajay with hands to the face. We'll see.
Holding, number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Adrian Medley inside at that left guard spot.
Yeah, Tajay got up top, but
it's 4th down.
There's the hold and the tug of the jersey right there.
So the penalty's been declined by Colorado, and it's 4th down.
You know, another thing that Dion and Colorado has this year that they've not had in the past. There's B.J. Green, there's Okunlola, there's Tajay McCoy, there's Arden Walker. There is depth. 9, 10, 11 guys on that defensive line that have played significant snaps.
4th and 12. Jefferson over the middle, caught by Harvey. Flag is down. Harvey weaving, has the first down for now. We're going to wait and see about the flag as Harvey's down near the 35 of Colorado.
Colorado, but there's a penalty marker on the play.
That's
the faces of the Knights tell the story.
Yes.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 88, defense, blow to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Amari McNeil roughing the passer.
Well, interesting, we didn't see a hold on Rubelt as he totally took McCoy to the ground. But this is on the inside. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot.
No.
But we saw it earlier the other way.
Also wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You said it then.
You get to the head of the quarterback, they're just going to, yes.
Yep. So all the way down to the 21-yard line with the penalty. 5:57 to go in this one. Jefferson on the roll, throws, catch is made, and then did it come out? Colorado say it incomplete, and it is incomplete. Wipe it out, you heard them say. Jalen Wester on the coverage to knock it out.
Nice commentary from the peanut gallery. And there you see Wester getting some reps again because Trevor Woods did not make the trip. So more and more of that depth continuing to play.
Jefferson over the middle again. Dancing around is Richardson, and he's down to the 15-yard line. UCF down 20. Just never able to get that run game going. Had to get into throw mode to come back, and that's not their game. 3rd and 3. Jefferson on the keep, and he lost the football. It ends up with Silman Craig, and he's off to the races. Cam Silman Craig trying to leg out a touchdown all the way, and the Buffs put it away with a 93-yard fumble return from Cam Silman Craig. Wow. The ball jarred out by Jalen Wester. Travis Hunter got twisted up in that play and ended up limping to the sideline.
The play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7, Colorado, for removing his helmet. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
There's video proof of the helmet not being on. Cam Silman Craig.
People are going to look at this score around the country. And Dion, I think, is going to say it after the game, too. He may not like the penalty, but you can't take the helmet off. He's going to say, I've been waiting for this game. I've been telling you that behind the scenes, we're working, we're practicing, we're doing all this. Yeah, Cam continues to have a whole bunch of fun at the expense of some of the UCF fans. But Coach really felt like this was coming. And today it wasn't just talk.
No. It was execution.
And it was effort.
This is as impressive a win as there's been in the Big 12 certainly this year. And the most impressive win in Deion Sanders' tenure as head coach at Colorado.
Yep.
Let's go downstairs with more on Cam Silman Craig. We check in with Allison.
Yeah, he's the guy that Coach Prime calls the unsung hero of this team, and defensive coordinator Robert Livingston said he is the heartbeat of the team. He is everything you want as a coach. He's the motivator. He's physical in the box. We always know what we're going to get from him. He said if I ever need to get a feel of the defense, kind of take a temperature of the defense, I look to him. When we need to be fired up or calm down, I go to him, and they go to him in this one to put it away, guys.
Yep, he has salted this one away. Remember, Colorado hasn't won more than 4 games since 2019. This will be win number 4 before the calendar turns to October. And it's a win that's going to make people, I think, rethink their expectations of the Big 12 Conference this year.
I think you talk to people behind the scenes as well, and certainly Dion has mentioned Robert Livingston. We've probably not done that enough, their defensive coordinator, because last year the defense was chaotic. It was big plays galore. They just never really hit people from beginning to end. As you see Travis Hunter, it was a little bit awkward as that pile fell on him, and they're going to take another look at him. But this is hitting people in a very physical UCF team in their house from beginning to end.
After the penalty, good field position on the return for Ladarius Tennyson. But let's go back to Travis Hunter, because we talk about how this could be changing the perception. Watch what happened here.
It was right at the end of the play.
He got rolled up on by his teammate there.
And that was Ray Ambule, who, again, these D linemen have just been flying and playing hard.
An entire state, an entire fan base holding its collective breath right now. Heck, the college football world. Jefferson with late pressure to the sideline. Townsend battling, and he's still inbounds. Clock will run. Under 5 to play in this one. Meanwhile, if you're UCF, this is a disappointing one. Gus Malzahn came into this. They had a lot of expectation, a lot of hope for this. It's going to be some concerns now. Back-to-back games, concerns with what you're seeing on the defensive side of the football. Now, this is a difficult team to stop offensively, but some hard questions are going to be asked for UCF. As you see Hunter walking around, that's good to see.
That is a great sign to see. Another advantage of being young and limber, and 128 plays.
128 plays, and he's probably mad.
I think he's looking for his helmet.
Yeah, he's mad he's not out there now.
Yes. And he's going to end up 9 yards short of 100. He's not going to get to that 100-yard mark that he had 5 consecutive 100-yard games.
Or is he?
First
down and 10 at the 45. Jefferson dropped. Boone looked over his shoulder as Wester was closing in, and it's 2nd and 10.
You know, you bring up Gus Malzahn and coming off the bye as well. Having everybody really raring and ready to go and feeling good. But I bet you, and Gus been around the game a long time, I bet you when he eventually does talk to the press today, he's going to say something really clear. And the Colorado out-hit us. They were more physical than us. Like, we are the #1 rush team in America, and we could not move them. We could not split them. We could not ever impose our will, and instead, they imposed their will against us.
When the game was competitive, it was Colorado's rushing attack, not UCF's, that was the story. Boone pushing his way a yard short of a first down at the 36.
Now remember, Colorado will have a bye next week, so they will get a little healthy. They'll get the chance to recover from this chaotic week, and then they will invite Kansas State up there to a sold-out bowl.
Meanwhile, no rest for UCF. They dip out of conference, and they go to Florida next. But first for Colorado, that bye week, and then Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and Utah the next 5. Does what you've seen today change how you feel about the Buffs going forward in that schedule?
I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, this was the game that they had been searching for. This is the game that they had felt like they had in them. But it's one thing to talk about it and feel it, and then it's another to go out there and actually do it.
2:50 to go in this one. Remember, Shiloh Sanders probably a week or two away from coming back. He broke his forearm against Nebraska. They expect that he'll likely be back in that secondary after the bye. Some more reinforcements coming. Pressure coming as Jefferson gets rid of it. And Richardson tripped up short of first down.
And all this is going to do is, you know, every game up there in Boulder is sold out. It has become must-see TV. All the stars want to be a part of it. And all it is going to do is ramp up even more expectation and more conversation. You would think get them ranked by the time K-State comes calling in 2 weeks. We're darn near close to it.
And what a difference 3 weeks makes. Remember, Nebraska held them to 10 points. That seems like a lifetime ago and maybe a different team ago as Richardson's nudged out of bounds. A hard hit from Colton Hood, and that'll take us to the
2-minute timeout with 1:57 to play here in Orlando. It's all Colorado. The Buffaloes about to move to 4-1 and 2-0 in conference play.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
You know what? Good on you, Fry Guy. Yeah. Sticking around the whole time.
He's here the whole time. A little salty, probably. Record under Deion Sanders, first 4 games, 3-1.
Yep.
3-1 this year, but they were faded 1-7 last year. This does not have the feel of a team that's going to fade like that.
Nope, a whole lot deeper where it matters. A whole lot deeper on their defensive front. 13 tackles for loss today. Unbelievable effort.
And movement up front. There was a flinch on the defensive line, but did they come across? Marcellus Marshall moved on the offensive line.
And remember, too,
false start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Remember, Colorado also doing this without Khalil Benson, the right guard, their veteran right guard, who played pretty well over the last few weeks. So gaining some depth at the line of scrimmage on both sides. 3-4 running backs, 4 wide receivers. You get these edges to play this way, like
a lot of pieces falling into place right now. And movement again. Jacoby Jones blasting out of the starting blocks.
Number 16, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now 4th down becomes even more difficult for UCF.
Jefferson, nobody open. Looking downfield, coming back to help out is Evan Morris, but he's going to go nowhere close to a first down and a turnover on downs to the Buffaloes. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years.
This seemed a long time ago. That was the first touchdown to Travis Hunter. R.J. Harvey responded there. One of the rare, just really wide open man-to-man beaters right there. Shepard, this is just, at that point you looked at it and went, man, they have got a lot of different weapons to work with. And yeah, this is when the old kick came on and the Charles Woodson pose followed.
Now some backups in. Ryan Staub in at quarterback, handing off to Charlie Offerdahl. Staub, a freshman out of Stevenson Ranch, California. He started one of the 3 games he played for Colorado last year. Got a start against Utah in the final game of 2023. West Ranch High School in California. Now just a matter of running this game out, heading home with your 4th win of the season. As impressive a win as Colorado's had under Deion Sanders.
What a fun plane ride it's going to be. They got here early. It's been chaotic. Game time a little bit delayed, but that flight is going to be fun.
Offerdahl again, and he backs his way to the 38-yard line. Well, Shadur Sanders, another terrific performance today for this Colorado offense. 290 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, the 1 interception, 28 of 35. That's a quarterback rating of 172.2.
That's 80%, and it just, you know, if he can do that, if he has to throw it 30 to 35 times and not 40 to 50 times and running for his life, look out, Big 12. I mean, really look out.
On 3rd and 3, Offerdahl again, and Offerdahl with a first down to the 42-yard line, and that will do it. Brock Heward, Allison Williams, thanks for letting me hang with you guys for the afternoon. I know you and Allison will be delighted to welcome our man Jason Benetti back once he gets the champagne out of his hair from Detroit.
That was a pretty darn complete effort, and I think you see it right there. Both those men